Hello, everybody. It's West Coast Wednesday, chat and chill, hang out with your host, DJ Davenger. Hi, everybody. I want to say hello to all the friends on a Wednesday night. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's more than just me saying what day of the week it is tonight. I got my fresh new Akira shirt on from Rucking Fountain. If you know who they are, then you know. IYKYK. Rucking Fountain on Instagram. Follow them. Let's say hello to some friends in the chat. We got Christopher Deschambeau. Chris, what's going on? Evening. I don't do double salutes. I leave that for Chris, the other Chris, comic tropes, Mr. Chris Pierce. Derek Neiman, the Archbishop of Wrenches, is in the house. Bless us with a wrench. Marco, what's up, homie? Thank you for your claims on the Patreon sale, my friend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Talk about the Patreon. Rami is in the house. Oh yeah, when you know Rami Darwish. Oh yeah. Good evening, Rami. Danny Clark, speaking of comic books, the man who works at Stargazer Comics, the place where I bought my terminal blind bags today, Danny Clark's in the house. What's up, Danny? Shout out Stargazer Comics in Tacoma on 6th Avenue, my local comic store. If you go on Wednesdays, you might catch all of the comic book influencers in one spot. God, I hate using that word. Hello, Andy. Good evening. And there he is, the Scottish man in Canada, Rob McCallum. Rob, how are you? Oh, yeah, we pray. Pray. We've got to pray just to make it today. Remember MC Hammer? Yeah, me too. I hope everybody's doing well. It is July 22nd. Today is the beginning of San Diego Comic Con, the Whales Vagina Comic Con. If you are in San Diego, I wish you all the fun and madness that's happening in San Diego. And if you're not, well, I'm here and we're here. I'm going to do a couple giveaways tonight. I'll talk about that in a second because they are San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Yes. Yes, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, we won't talk spoilers on the episode, but had a very strong end of something that we kind of know it was going to happen, but it was a really good episode. We got more X Factor type of stuff. They homaged, what is that? X Factor 71? Yeah, I think they homaged that cover, and I know there was another homage in there. I'm really enjoying seeing the homage, just like whatever it is, like a one image or a scene or whatever that they're doing in X-Men 97. But last week's episode was insane. Oh, so insane. Or no, 2 weeks ago was insane. Last week I enjoyed it too. Chris, so far I've read 39 trade paperbacks this year, or just in general. What has been your favorite? I've been reading. Well, I'm about halfway through the second deluxe Lone Wolf and Cub. I read the new Jim Woodring book. I finished that up this morning, which is called Quacky. And Quacky, if you like Jim Woodring and you like just a good story, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It comes out next month. So yeah, pick that up from Pentagraphics. Thoughts on the Odyssey? All right, Rami. Thoughts overall is I think it's instantly in my top 5 Nolan movies. Um, I saw it in 70 millimeter. I'm already going to see it again in 2 weeks. Again, in 70 millimeter. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was just such a monumental feat of filmmaking. Movies like that is the reason why, in general, I'm speaking in general, why we go to the movies. Movies like that in general are why I go to the movies multiple times. Um, think about my experience with seeing that is kind of akin to like how people used to talk about Lawrence of Arabia. Like my parents would talk about that or Gone with the Wind or Ben-Hur, just these spectacles of filmmaking and an experience that's shared by so many people at the same time. Um, and the fact that obviously he did have some digital effects in there, removing certain elements of the filmmaking process so that it didn't show up on screen. But knowing that he shot it practically, did all that stuff practically, The pig scene, the scene, the close-ups, a lot of close-ups. It was just God, it was just so amazing. Yeah, and I can't wait to see it again in 2 weeks. I may also see it a third time in a different format. Yeah, Derek, you should. I mean, if I don't think anywhere in New Mexico is playing it in 70 millimeter. If it is, you should try and see it if you can in 70 millimeter IMAX. Yeah, it was. Did you see it at Lincoln Center? And Marco, did you see it in Lincoln Center? Or did you see it in Jersey? Because Lincoln Center, for those of you that yeah, yeah. I mean, well, but what isn't he mad about? He's a little bitch. He's the richest man on the planet, and he's the biggest bitch on the planet. Um, for anybody that lives in New York, New Jersey, that Manhattan area, I started going to the Lincoln Center IMAX when Batman Begins came out, and I have a very loving relationship with seeing Nolan movies. In the format they're meant to be seen. So I saw Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises, and I might have seen The Prestige in that IMAX too, but I saw all three of those in that IMAX. When I moved to Seattle, rest in peace to the Seattle Science Center Boeing IMAX, which I don't even want to talk about how mad I am about that whole thing, but I I've seen every Nolan movie in that IMAX. Interstellar, since then, Interstellar, Dunkirk, uh, uh, Oppenheimer. Am I missing one? Oh, and Inception. Wrong. I think I saw that one in New York. But then I also went to go see those movies in whatever millimeter format outside of IMAX at the Cinerama. So I love Nolan movies and I love the experience in the theater of seeing them. And I think every Christopher Nolan movie deserves at least two viewings in the theater, at least. I Dunkirk is one of those movies where I don't think it gets the love that it deserves because I think it may be in my top three. And I consider the Batman trilogy to be one thing. So I don't rank them because there are days that I love Batman Begins the most. And, anyway, that's just a personal thing. I want to see it in the theater. Well, yes, but definitely you know where you need to see it. Hollywood, the Hollywood theater. More it sits with me, the more, yeah, I mean, I can't stop thinking about certain scenes in that, and these aren't spoilers, they're all in the story, but the Cyclops scene, but the Hades was probably my favorite scene overall. Although Cersei scene was pretty amazing too. Yeah, well, Elon Musk doesn't know anything about movies. He barely even knows anything about being a human. Yeah, I know, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the right because Batman Begins wasn't shot in IMAX, but they played it at the IMAX. But yeah, Dark Knight, that opening, whatever, 15 minutes, the Joker bank sequence was shot specifically in for IMAX. What's my what's up, Sam? I can't say I wouldn't put Tenet as my least favorite because I only saw it once and I'm waiting like I think I might have just bought it on 4K Blu-ray. I bought a bunch. After I came home from the Odyssey, I just went and spent a bunch of money at Barnes and Noble buying 4K Blu-rays. Um, I would say like it's probably Tenet or only because I saw it once or Insomnia. I've seen Insomnia a couple times. The Following is good, but I don't even put that in the pantheon of his films because it's his first film. But and then Memento, I should revisit it. Um, but like saying what's the least favorite of my Nolan movies is like saying, what's my least favorite cup of coffee I've made in the last year because there are no bad ones. The Prestige is a masterpiece and my favorite Nolan movie. Apparently, yeah, they're bringing it back. They're reformatting it for IMAX and bring it back. I love that movie, and that's a movie that I saw a couple times, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm excited to go back to it because that's a movie that you need to kind of let your brain step away from it so you can kind of forget some of the elements of the mystery surrounding it. But it's a brilliant movie, and I think it's a acting wise, it's just such a fantastic movie. Uh, and getting Bowie as Tesla, that come on, that never gets old. Something about those scenes in the boat in the storm, yeah, yeah, and the angles that he was shooting at, because you can clearly know why they were shooting at some of the tighter angles to get different shots because they were shooting it not on the ocean, because if they were, everybody would have died in those scenes at night. But yeah, the Odyssey was a fantastic experience. I mean, all of his movies, it's interesting. And a lot of you in here, seen some of these movies in the theater dating back to the, first Batman movie. I didn't see Memento in the theater, but I remember my friend telling me that I had to get it when it came out on DVD. Um, but it's interesting. It's the Barbenheimer thing. That weekend, both great movies opened. That was the beginning of like where we are right now, because like Nolan movies were a spectacular thing, but like I remember when Interstellar came out and did very well. It did well, but then each subsequent weekend it was doing better and better because people were like, you have to go see it. Dunkirk, I think, is the one that people talk the least about, and that's his Jaws, if you think about it, and the perspective of um Jaws or Godzilla, like very minimal screen time with those two main characters, right? And in Dunkirk, you don't see a German soldier. The word Nazi is never said. You only see German soldiers at the very end of the movie. So you like the enemy is never seen. And it's such a brilliant way to construct a war movie is you're only seeing one side. And we don't need, and the thing is like, you don't need to show the Nazis. We know World War II is, but it's just like the threat is there. And yeah, I love that movie, and I love how he plays with time with all of his movies, but Dunkirk, especially, and he built the IMAX cameras for the planes and the boats, and brilliant fucking movie. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and we would talk more about movies and talk more about the Odyssey. I've got two giveaways tonight. Let me just show those off. One's going to be for the paid Patreon subscribers, and that is Cyber League #1 from 24/7 Comics. This is the Mannix Abrera variant cover, obviously homaging the great comedy Major League. It also comes with a card. These are for San Diego Comic Con, but Carl Choi, who um, Carl Choi, who's the founder of 24/7 and I guess the CEO, he sent me a bunch of books to give away. And so I want to do that one for the Patreon. And then this is another one. This is New Men, Rob Liefeld's New Men, but coming back via 24/7 Comics, and Lucas Lee Garza and Bill Sienkiewicz did the cover. Now, if you don't know who Lucas Lee Garza is, that's Jim Lee's son. And if you don't know who Bill Sienkiewicz is, what the hell are you doing watching this channel? But this is New Men. The cover is by Lucas Lee and Bill Sienkiewicz. And then um, I guess the writers, Jeff Matsuda and Eric Stevenson, on this. But what's weird is I don't know who the artist is. Anyway, New Men, #1 foil. And that is going to also come with a Magic trading card. So the New Men one is going to be for the anybody in the stream, and then the Cyber League is going to be for any of the paid Patreon subscribers. Let me get to some questions and then we'll talk. You're right. It's like a horror movie setup where you don't see the monster because your imagination is exactly. I did watch the Clayface trailer today. I'm interested, very interested in it. It looks very horrific. I have no clue what the plot is. But I mean, I think they're doing that. They're doing smart things with trailers like that, like giving us something interesting, but not really spoiling anything. Sankwitz. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen trade paperback one was amazing. Well, it's Alan Moore. So that movie was terrible. The book is not terrible. So yeah. Speaking of the Patreon, this week, it was actually a big week on the Patreon. I'll just say this real quick. The link is in the description below, and it's $5 a month. I mean, there is a free tier, but I don't drop many free videos. This week, I did drop a free video. There is a new, let's call it a new addition to the podcast, direct edition. That is a show called Movie Morons, starring me, my producer slash friend Phil, and our friend Will. And in Movie Morons episode 1, which is available for free on the Patreon right now, we talk, we do about a 69, it's like 69 minutes episode on the movie 1995, The Crow, and the soundtrack, and we just talk about it. The idea of what Movie Morons is going to be, and the reason why it's called Movie Morons, at least that's the working title, is we're three close friends. We've known each other for almost 2 decades, and I wanted to do something talking about movies that didn't really harp on negativity or criticism. It's more about 69 exactly. It's more about talking about a movie that we've all seen and something that we all like. We may do some movies that are questionable, like we're going to start by doing a bunch of comic book adaptation movies, but right now we are doing movies and talking about them from a place of love and like enjoying it, and then talking about it in any way, shape, or form, whether it's theories, it's humorous things, whatever it is. But it's not going to be something where we just sit there and shit all over a movie, because that is pretty much all of social media these days. So I'm excited to go forward with that. That is next movie we're doing is Sin City. So, and I absolutely love that movie, and so do they. So, actually, I don't think Phil's ever seen it, and if he has, it's been a long time. Also on the Patreon today, I dropped the exclusive. Every 2 months, I do a live. Well, a live. I do a sale, and it's something exclusive for the Patreon. Sold through almost half of everything, maybe even more. So thank you to everybody who claimed an item. And if you haven't checked it out and you are a paid Patreon member, then do so after tonight. I hope. Hold on, what does it say? I hope Clayface 2 is a courtroom musical. That would be that would definitely be a different thing there. No, the whole thing is to do movies that we like, not shit. That's what Trash Movie Bonanza exists for. I wasn't trying to steal my friend's show and try that. Doing movies that we like. Yeah. Because otherwise I just don't have there is no part of me, and I think everybody that's watching and everybody part of the Dave Enger or Direct Edition audience, there's no part of me that enjoys talking about things I don't like. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of breath, and it's a waste of my energy as a human being to talk about things that I don't like, you know, beyond maybe saying something for like 30 seconds. I honestly, when I think about like the podcast landscape and the YouTube landscape, it's fun to be funny, but I don't understand. Like, I can't imagine being one of these people who has a YouTube show or whatever, or even a social media account where all they do is talk about shit negatively. That's a miserable existence. Like, my body does not feel good when I'm in a negative talking mood, or, when I'm talking about something I don't like, you know? Um, so yeah. So today was the Patreon exclusive sale. I've got one more video, I think, along the way. If not, it'll drop next month on the Patreon, but I've put a lot of stuff on Patreon this month. It's been a lot of fun. I did not drop a video on this channel last week because I just didn't feel like it. But I do have one coming this weekend, which is a flip through of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book that I think a lot of people don't know exists. And if they do know it exists, they don't know what happens inside the pages of it. Newman. No, not like Seinfeld. Newman. Not hello, Newman. um, but and then as well, if you are a $5 Patreon subscriber, I dropped a 10% off discount code for westcoastavengers.com, which is now, as the Emperor would say, fully operational. It's like the Death Star, except it doesn't cause death. You can buy stuff there. So let me just show off my website real quick here. For those of you that don't know, I have one, westcoastavengers.com. You can watch the newest video. You can fill out the live sale form, so that you can buy stuff on West Coast Wednesday, or you can just contact me if you're looking for a book or whatever. And then if you go to the shop here, you can now buy stuff, because I think it's a long time coming for me to have a place where uh Anthony, yes, this is actually my place to say fuck thugs and fuck fascists. Yeah, no, this is my place. I created it. I didn't create YouTube, but yeah, this is my channel. So no, no, I'm sorry. You don't get to tell me what to do. That's not what this is about. So if you think that that's okay, you can leave. That's fine. You can you can unsubscribe, nobody cares. But no, yeah, this is actually my community. The people in the chat aren't here for oh yeah. No, it is. It's West Coast Adventures. So I'm not going to argue with that anymore. Anyway, I'm going to show you. There you go, Noah. I'm going to show you my store. You can buy books. I opened a TeePublic store right here. You can click on that and get t-shirts. But so if you're part of the Patreon and you're a $5 member, and yeah, you get a 10% discount code. It's pinned to the top of the Patreon page. So you go on there. Yeah. Right, John? There's no place for personal opinions, and it's not propaganda. If you support fascists, then you, in turn, are fascist. And I'm not talking about this anymore because I'm not wasting my time. So anyway, the podcast, let's talk about next week. Speaking of people who have stood up against ICE, Danny Warren Johnson's on the podcast next week. God. Derek, can you do me a favor? I'd appreciate it. Hi, Dracula. Hello, Adrian. So Daniel Warren Johnson is on the podcast next week. And you know what's so funny? This fucking poster has been up here for 6 months. All right. Yeah. Patriots. Oh, I can't believe that there's still people out here. There's still people out here, especially in the comic book space, that support that kind of thing. They're like, yes, let's kill people on the streets. Anyway. Oh, there you go, John. I got it from Rucking Fountain. I mean, like, come on. Like, it's sad when there's people who literally come to talk about a 150% liberal medium art form. All of these people that created all of this stuff up here are either liberals or Jews or Jewish liberals or anything that would spit all over an ICE agent if they weren't going to get shot. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that shit. Anyway, podcast next week. Daniel Warren Johnson is on the podcast, and we are talking about Chain Kata. It's like almost a 2-hour interview. And then after that, Che Grayson's coming on, the writer of Absolute Catwoman. Well, they're a co-writer of Absolute Catwoman with Scott Snyder. You know, Scott Snyder, the guy who, architect of the Absolute Universe. And then after that, Jim Ward from Sparta and At the Drive-In, he came back. We recorded yesterday. And then I'm recording one more interview tomorrow, but I want to wait till it's recorded before I, say that's who it's going to be. I haven't talked to him I haven't seen him, I should say, in maybe like 6 years, 7 years. I mean, the last time we saw each other, it was, it was all catching up and, how are you, that kind of thing. But yeah, I just don't go to wrestling anymore. I'd love to see him again. AEW comes through every once in a while, but I'm not on Twitter anymore. So that's how we used to, DM each other. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Tom, it's been there for 6 months, 7 months. Yeah. I just like, why? Hello there, man. I just don't know why you even bother. Like, you don't know me if you think that sign is controversial. Like, it's just been there. Chicks with chainsaws, baby. Yes, I didn't want to show too much skin on the show tonight, Chris. Chris is in the house. Comic Tropes. He had a weekly spinner rack on Monday. He put out a new video on Sunday. Everybody knows who Chris is, but if you don't follow him, he's got 2 channels. Count them, 1, 2. Comic Tropes and Comic Tropes After Dark, where things get sexy. Yeah, Paul White. I knew him. I met him back in like I think it was like 99, right before he came into the WWE, and I was involved in a court case as a witness on his defense because some dude tried to fight him at a hotel and he punched the dude in the face once, broke his jaw, and then yeah, and then I ended up testifying for him. Oh, you're in is he in Florida still? Yeah, that's Carl Choi did gave me one of those for a giveaway. Tom, I don't think I gotta ask my LCS if they got it. I totally forgot about it. I saw your post and then I totally forgot about it. But I gotta see if drop the name of it in the chat. Yeah, yeah. Paul's in most of the guys in when I used to go to the WWE stuff and I used to go to a lot of shows, most of those guys lived in Florida. I'm sure most of them still do. Like I want to say Edge and Christian lived down there. Devon and Bubba Ray lived down there. I think it was just the easiest place for all those guys to live because it was a good hub. But yeah, that's a Cyber League. I'm gonna do the Patreon giveaway real quick first because that's already preloaded. So let me do that. This is for all the paid Patreon subscribers. Everybody's name is in the wheel, and that is for the Cyber League preview with the Mannix card and the Mannix cover. So let's just do that giveaway real quick. Who's gonna win? Who's going to win the magical comic book? Hey, it's my homie Trip, who lives not too far from me. Great, I have to hold another book for him. Congratulations, Trip, if you're in here. Yes, wrestlers do love Florida. Well, I think it's also because, like, for a while, WCW was down there permanently, and Orlando, because everybody I think tried to live close to Orlando. Orlando's a major hub, and since a lot of the shows were up and down the East Coast, yeah, I think that's why it became a big hub. Yeah, yeah. Commander Punch, Slappy Pappy, Bad Clerk, Austin Wheels. Was that like Cyber League, like a video game Cyber League? What I don't know what that is. Um, I mean, I don't know about in here, but yeah, I mean, I know wrestling shirts blew up and became kind of part of, the this most recent post-COVID slash during COVID wave of vintage stuff. Band t-shirts, comic t-shirts, wrestling t-shirts. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't deal with them because I got rid of all my wrestling stuff, unfortunately, a while ago. Um, so yeah. Anyway, Dread the Hall H, right. Yes. And you're in it. There's a Chris Anderson's in it. I forget the other names in it. I just know because I know both of you. Hey, there he is, Daryl. You missed some idiot came in and got mad that I have a no ice sign, and then he said real ice or patriots or something, and then he licked more boots and had a boot sandwich. Those are great wrestlers. None of these are real people. I do. It's just I gotta, if you're looking to buy something, I will be happy to give you two shipping quotes. It'll usually be UPS and USPS, and you can just pick which one you want. And it's whatever my shipping quote is directly what I quote you. So, um, but yes, I do. In short, yes. In long, yes. You can get all of his wrestling stuff. Oh my God. Overnight to Uzbekistan. No, Derek. When I ship to Uzbekistan, I actually force you to go do it at gunpoint. So have a good trip. So where were we at? Yes, so the podcast, Daniel Warren Johnson next week, Che Grayson after that, and then Jim Ward after that, and another guest after that, and still working on getting a couple other ones. It's slow going, especially this week, like getting replies to anybody, because it's San Diego Comic Con week, and if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, I know at least one person that might be in the chat might be there is if Jamie's here. But yeah, it's going to be a big week. I think there's going to be some crazy announcements, stuff that hasn't really come out yet, announcement wise. I doubt we'll see any other absolute Batman news, on the animation front. Unless there's some concept stuff that's going on, but I do think that there's going to be some big announcements when it pertains to DC Comics. I think they're going to announce at least one new Absolute series, and they may announce another extension or something like that. I also think that, and this is based on absolutely nothing other than my own thoughts. I think Dennis Camp's going to have a new Absolute series coming out. If they haven't announced one yet, I think they're going to announce something with him because Martian Manhunter was so good, and there's no way that they're gonna be like, yeah, we don't need you for anything else. Why stop yelling? I have FOMO. I don't have FOMO. I don't, I have FOMO of like hanging out with a couple of people, but I have no desire to go to that con and like be in the shit, as they say. The oversized Shaolin Cowboy original art book. Is the oversized coming out? Is he gonna have those at San Diego Comic Con? I thought he was just gonna have the the ones that he printed, the 50 that he printed, and then I don't know. Yeah, Kirkman's probably going to announce something. I mean, well, I'll open this up in a little bit. I have one more blind bag to open. I pulled two cover Bs out of the other two blind bags I opened, which was kind of lame, but whatever. It was a good book. Terminal. Um, yeah, Dennis Camp is absolute amazing. Absolute amazing is amazing in the absolute and one of the best writers. That would be interesting. They haven't had any hint to there being a Nightwing yet, right? I haven't read every absolute book. That's why. Maybe we'll see Kelsey Grammer do some beast backflips on. Poor guy would break his back. Oh, it was a con exclusive? Oh, Jesus. Nightfall Part 1, that's right. Yeah, and they're doing justice and basing it on Kelly Jones's art, and they're making it R. So hopefully that backbreaking scene will be amazing. I mean, I don't watch too many of the DC animated movies just because there's so many of them, and the ones that I've watched, I was like kind of not disappointed with, but bored with. Like Killing Joke, I was disappointed with. Yeah, yeah, because they added stuff that didn't need to be added. Because that last 15-minute scene or whatever was better than every movie they've ever done. And then I watched Superman Red Sun and I fell asleep. Ah, maybe they're just it's not for me. That's right. There is all five Robins, but nothing about Nightwing specifically. Absolute Aquaman. Yeah, that's right. They haven't touched that character at all, right? He hasn't been referred to or anything. Yeah, I don't Chris, I would say I mean, it's up to you, but I wouldn't even talk about it anymore. Like, I'm surprised you did the news story on it. I know why you did, but giving it any more air is kind of annoying, you know? I hate that dude. No, yeah, that's true. That's right. That's right. That is right. I'm Absolute Aquaman. Absolute Aquaman is what would be amazing, and I think Chris and Tom and a couple of you people that are we're all around the same age. If Absolute Aquaman was based off of the state, the skit on the state. Yeah, I there's certain things that like I think the more air we give to it, the more it can breathe, that kind of thing. I'm gonna open this up. So I've gotten two cover Bs, which is a wraparound cover by Andy Kubert. I wouldn't mind getting something that's not that. Yeah, no, I don't. I know it was just announced. Do you think? That that he's been working on it? You know. All right. Holy shit! I got a third one. Cool. Well, you know what? The good thing about it is I did this to myself. I bought 3 blind bags and I'm done with blind bags. What's up, Phil? He should I mean, that should be the whole comic. No, this is issue 1, the cover B. I have now 3 copies of it. There's one right up there. So, cool. Yay. Um yeah, yeah, 2, 7 and 10, and then I heard there's a I feel bad for anybody that got it, but a Secret Liefeld variant. Oh, did they? Oh, cool. All right, so maybe yeah, maybe there is going to be some more footage. Um, yeah, it is what it is. No, I think I'll sell them next week at my sale. As much as I enjoy doing giveaways, I already have a giveaway for tonight, and yeah, money is not free. All right, Andy, I got you. There we go. I just sold one. Absolute Aquaman, except his flippers are blades. Absolute Aquaman, except his hands are barracudas. He's actually a fish. He's actually a fish that talks. No more man. He's just a fish. He's a fish stick. Yeah, I'll give that away in maybe like 15, 20 minutes. A Life of One is rough. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think he barely draws anymore. Like I could look at all of the first maybe 5 to 10 years of his art, and then yeah, it gets rough after that. There is a couple of covers that I've seen from like the early 2000s to the mid 2000s that he did, when he was doing just kind of covers for the extreme stuff or whatever that look good, but yeah. Mm. And everybody knows how I feel about him personally, and everybody knows how he feels about me, so that's okay. He should be one of those nightmare fuel fish. Yeah, yeah. With the light that's like, yeah. 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 I would be down for that. Anywho. Uh so yeah, Doomsday is coming. And I'm excited for it, obviously. It's funny, somebody who asked me, I don't remember who it was, like a day before the trailer or 2 days before the trailer came out, if I was excited, and I was like, I'm kind of apathetic to it. And then I saw the trailer and I was excited. Um, I have my theories about it. I have my theories about how it's going to go. I really do hope that what they're pulling from the comics is the Hickman run, because I think the Secret Wars Hickman run is maybe the best event since, in my opinion, for me, is Infinity Gauntlet. But I haven't read every event that happened in between 1992 and 2015. I'm going to mention in passing how Heroes Reborn wasn't super successful. I bet he complains. Yeah, I mean, like, the whole thing is that always stands on his, he always stands on the fact that, like, oh, it's the highest selling Avengers book. Just because something makes a lot of money does not make it good, and that does not make it successful in the the execution of the comic. We can probably name 10 movies that have made $1 billion that aren't good. That doesn't mean that anybody remembers them fondly. Just remembered they wasted their money on it. Two captains. Well, I mean, yes, but I don't think that Chris Evans is in for the long haul on that story. I do not. My idea is that, like, if you're Look, if you take Hickman's run, if you take the 2015 Secret Wars, the moment that you realize that Doctor Doom was all fucking powerful was when he destroyed Thanos. Like, he ripped Thanos' spine and head and crumbled away. How this movie has to be for the masses. Okay, it's not for us. It's not for the people that read comics. It's for the masses. Movies get made for the masses. Those types of movies. So if you're just a regular schmo, Joe Schmo, um, you're going in, and if you don't know who Doctor Doom is, the movie has to prove to the audience that Doctor Doom is somebody to be feared, like Thor says in the trailer, right? How do you do that? You have him take down some of the heaviest hitters, and that's the only way. You know, how did Thanos? How did we get to see Thanos was so powerful at the beginning of Infinity War? He beat the piss out of the Hulk. You know, or in the actual Infinity Gauntlet, he destroyed the heroes that came after him. You know, like that. So I think Chris Evans isn't long for this world when he comes back for this movie. You love Kelsey Grammer. You should have him on your show, Chris. I have very middling feelings on Doomsday. The trailer totally sold me just to feel. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how I felt when I saw the trailer. Thor, there's no dialogue. There's just Thor, yeah, talking. And then yeah, there's just narration between Thor and there's RDJ as Doom. So yeah, I think that was it. I like that there's no hint of RDJ Iron Man Doom. He sounds and looks good. But they said they're going to explain why he looks like him. No, I mean, I don't think you could have the Beyonder in there without him already being kind of part of the MCU, especially because they're not adapting shooters Secret Wars. It's not good. They'll probably pull some things out of there, but I imagine you're getting mostly Hickman. Uh, I tried to read Secret Wars, the old Secret Wars, and it's not an easy read. Comics from the Copper Age are not fun, reading wise, art wise, action wise, like nostalgia wise, they're great, but I just hope they really drive home how emotional the Loki Thor reunion should be. Yeah, well, yeah, of course. What is happening? Chris is having some type of, he's singing a song. I don't know. What song is that? What's happening? I love Kelsey, just not his politics. I don't actually love Frasier. I don't know much about Kelsey Grammer, to be honest. I heard they are re-releasing Endgame with new sequences. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Leave that movie where it was. Like that to me is just kind of like, oh, you're really just full on retconning stuff, like, and pretending that it was there the whole time. Whatever. Oh, that makes sense. Hello, Calvin Yerbis. Yeah, Beyonder in a white jumpsuit. Yeah, when I picture the Beyonder, I'm like, are they going back to the 70s? Yep. I tossed Fraser's salad and all I got was this t-shirt. Jesus Christ. With that, I'll have a drink. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the trailer, see how good Doom looks, and that kind of yeah, Disco Inferno Beyonder. To see that last shot where Doom, just blocks the hammer. It's like, yeah, he's God Emperor Doom. That's a god versus a god right there. I mean, yeah, it would never work, Tom. You can't satisfy people with a brand new story. It just won't work. We've tried. It doesn't work. There being no signs of Spidey or Hulk in the trailer, I thought was interesting. I was wondering, is whatchamacallit, Tom Holland or Mark Ruffalo supposed to be in the cast for that? I'm gonna stand up in the theater and yell like Kathy Bates in Misery. That's not what happened. You're What's up, Brandon? I hope you're doing well, brother. Brother. Um, I mean, look, if Secret Wars really does take from Hickman's run, you'll get Spider-Man in there, and then hopefully they'll have cast a Miles Morales by that time. And then you'll get live action Miles in the 616, and all will be good. What's up, Mattis? Long time, brother. I bet. Yeah, I don't think he's in this. I don't think he was part of the cast. If he is, it's going to be at the very end. It'll be like one of those things. Yep. Yep. Rob McCallum mentioned it at the beginning. Yeah, it looks good. I'm interested to see what the plot is. because, there's really no plot in the trailer, but it looks like a cool horror movie. So, um, yeah. I expect they'll use the heroes, not this one and the next one, Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That would make sense. Like bring in, well, I mean, half of these people that are in Doomsday are probably not coming back. We're definitely getting the death of the X-Men in this one. It better happen. Tired of seeing those old fools. I think Black Suit Spidey will happen actually. See, I was wondering because I was looking at they did like a little Spider-Man movie documentary on Disney and I watched it. There was like a couple of shots with Spidey and his eyes going all black. I'm like, are we getting the black suit in Brand New Day? Yeah, it just I don't know what the plot is, but it looks cool. I have faith that it'll be something interesting. Uh but you know, who knows? I think we already saw the best horror movie of the year. No, 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 no. But yeah. Yeah, we are. Well, we can you can if you can take I haven't seen X-Men 3 in 15, 20 years, so you can take that out of your head. That's not a real movie. That movie doesn't exist. Um but yeah, we're gonna see him die for like the 12th time. I mean, Patrick Stewart's like 90 years old. So is McKellen. I think they're both like close to the same age. Let's see. Patrick Stewart is 86 and Ian McKellen is 87. So yeah, they're close to 90. I think it's okay for them to retire. Oh, guess what, Trip? You won the Cyber League Mannix cover. That was the Patreon, the paid Patreon giveaway. So congrats. Dude, Brandon, it was so good. I've seen it 3 times, twice in the theater, and I own it now. Um, I feel the same way about that movie as I felt about Sinners last year. It's going to be really hard to top that experience. Although the Odyssey, was I can't wait to see the Odyssey a second time and then kind of balance it against not the movie itself, just the experience of seeing that in the theater and 2 times in Obsession, 2 times. Yes, and maybe they'll introduce Squirrel Girl and it'll be a team up. Uh, Obsession so far. I haven't seen Backrooms yet. I'm hopefully going to see it soon. I haven't seen Hokum yet, so I can't. But for me, Obsession was, yeah. I mean, Chris, that would be hilarious. I don't think they're going to do it, but that would be hilarious. You're a close second. Dude, that scene is insane. That whole sequence. Yeah, yeah, no, it'll stay with you for a while. Yeah. I went to see Odyssey in the worst possible theater to give it a test of its actual good. That's gonna be my first viewing. You're gonna go to like Comac Multiplex. Or you go like yeah, Comac Multiplex. The last time I went to Comac Multiplex, that was the worst theater. But I'm sure they've renovated it since I moved off of Long Island 16 years ago. It was funny, Phil. I don't know if and anybody in the chat, I don't know if you've seen like some of the kind of funny things that people have been doing, but whether it's real or not, if it's superimposed, but it's like somebody looking at watching the Odyssey on a cell phone, like, finally seeing the Odyssey the way Christopher Nolan meant it to be seen. And somebody did it with like a Game Boy Color. They got like the trailer for the Odyssey on a Game Boy Color on like a modded one. Close up on Moon Knight dialogue. Somehow, Morbius has returned. Yeah, it's a bummer that we're not getting Oscar Isaac back in and Moon Knight anytime soon. Boo, boo. Trevor's an elitist. Raymar Brunson. What's up, Raymar? How you doing, Neff? Let me show off 2 things I just got back from the framer today. Some of you have seen these pieces. but you haven't seen him framed. I got my DWJ Absolute Batman on an Ice Agent. See, that's what happens to Ice Agents when they meet Absolute Batman. Yeah, pile driver. Pile driver. And I mean, Oh Brother Where Art Thou is a great movie, but damn, we're in a tight spot. And I got this Brett Bean Dork piece back from the framer. Look at him. He's so cute and adorable and deadly. Yeah, I typically only like framing commissions. I don't totally love framing published pages just because I'd rather have them in a portfolio. No, that was not my testicles. Damn, we're in a tight spot. What's up, Danny? Happy Wednesday. The framer. Yes. Not for sale. Most probably, yes. Yes. Yeah, I was very happy with obviously the pieces when I bought them, and I'm even happier with them framed. Yes. Dave, I have a package sitting at my door to send you, and I forgot every day. That's not surprising. It's you. But I'll take it when it comes. That's what she said. Let's do the giveaway. I'm going to give away this big thanks to Carl Choi, 24/7 Comics. This is New Men #1 with a foil. This is a San Diego exclusive foil cover by Lucas Lee Garza, the son of Jim Lee, and inked by Bill Sankiewicz, along with the trading card that they are giving those out at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. But I'm going to give this away now. All you have to do is hashtag SDCC. SDCC. Yes. Yeah. No, that was a perfect pairing. Leo, welcome in. SDCC, and I'll ship this to you. And if you're a regular at the West Coast Wednesday sale, you can include it in your next purchase, or I can just ship it to you. So, all right, let's go to San Diego tonight. All right, you come and pick me up at 8, and then we'll get there by showtime tomorrow. Oh, look at that. See, Derek? Derek knows what's up. Derek's good. But yeah, Sankiewicz and Lucas Lee. Lucas Lee Garza, his son, he was at Tokyo Comic-Con last year. And there's the card. And I'll probably do another one of these giveaways at the next Wednesday sale or make it a top spender prize. I have a couple more that he sent me, including the Godtail one. So we'll drive my car. My car's got almost like 100,000 miles on it. Plus, I can't fit like 72 long boxes in my car. The Sankiewicz. Did I see the connecting covers for this? I don't think so. Or you mean for Terminal? Alaska Comic-Con. I mean, yeah, you'll get like 4 to 5 guests, and yeah, there's nobody who lives up there, and it's like you'd have to get all the Canadians. You would probably get some of the Western Canadians to come up, like Kari Andrews. Hello, Martin. Good evening, my friend. Sankiewicz. That says, look, Sankiewicz. All right, let's see how many people have entered in the giveaway. We got 14 entries. Come on, people. Oh, of course. Of course, Danny. My pleasure. Thank you for buying some books off me. Sankiewicz. Did I see the connecting covers Sankiewicz did for Absolute Batman and Catwoman? No, I haven't. I'll have to look those up though. Are those for San Diego Comic-Con? Are those exclusives? Anyway, and then if you win this and you've never filled out the new buyer form on my website or, for West Coast Wednesday, if you win this, just fill it out if I don't have your information. If you know that I have your information, if I've shipped stuff to you before, whatever, you don't have to fill it out. But if a new person wins this, I need your address. So you can just go on my website, westcoastdaymanagers.com, and then you scroll down or you hit the live sale form and you fill it out with your address, and I ship this to you. It's real simple. It's free. I don't put you on a mailing list, although I may start a new mailing list just to update people what's on the store. Like maybe every month, like here's the new items on the store. But I don't think I'll ever do a newsletter again. I might, but Patreon kind of is that. It's the newsletter. All right, let's do the giveaway. We'll do it in don't give it to him. It's a trick. Shut up, Bill. That's that, by the way, that's still sick. That is my producer and friend of Direct Edition producer, Phil. So don't listen to him. He's trying to trick you into thinking that it's a trick. Although Comic Tim may find, well, there's a very good chance at that. Never tell me the odds, kid. Anyway, here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who is the winner? Who is the winner of New Men? Joel. Congratulations, Joel. Another, wow. See, YouTube is just like, oh, you want to ship these locally? Let the two of the local people win. Trip won the first one, and Joel won the second one. And Joel is also in the Metro Seattle area. So congratulations, Joel, and thank you. And like I said, next Wednesday is my next sale, and if you are part of that, I will be doing at least one more giveaway for one of these foil exclusives, and then one of them will probably be the top spender prize, or maybe two, because Carl sent me a bunch, so it was very nice of him. Yeah, congrats, dude. Well, I'm not doing any others tonight, so but you know what Chris won? Chris won a day with Dave. No, we got to see each other today at the Stargazer Comics, our LCS. Leo's got a question. Let's see what we go here. Have I pondered that I may very well have the perfect job or jobs at this point? I interview comic people or people related to comics, buy and sell comics, and now it started a movie podcast. Leo, I appreciate you saying that. But it's, yes, I love it. I'm very fortunate to have carved this path for myself with a lot of hard work. But it's hard work. It's funny. I was originally gonna have, I think the thumbnail tonight was originally supposed to say it's hard buying comic collections because it's been hard the last 6 months to a year. And that's something I'll talk about tonight. I'm happy to talk about it. Roosters will win at some point. Here they come to snuff the rooster. Ah, yeah. Anyway, anywho, so I've noticed, and I've talked to a couple of comic store owners. I've talked to friends that do this, that uh, collections in this area in the Northwest have dried up a little bit. And I think it's a thing that's happening all over the place. What's up, Tyler? Tyler's in the house. The Pope of the Wrenches is in the house. But there's two things that have happened in the last year or so. Whatnot started in 2020, 2021. I hopped on board 2021, and I think I exited around 2022. But in the last year, and I think a lot of this is due to Pokemon and other things that are bigger than comics, but I think the general layman, like the general person who's not a collectibles person, like not in the communities, but just somebody who's bought some of the stuff or maybe have kids, maybe have some of the stuff sitting around, are starting to hear about Whatnot more so in the last year because it's gotten more mainstream, especially because like eBay Live isn't really big yet. It's big, but it's not Whatnot feels like it's almost part of the lexicon now of American pop culture. And so I think that has also given rise to a lot of people thinking that they're going to sell their comic collections on Whatnot, not realizing how much work it is to be a live seller on a platform like that. It's not just something you can do passively and become popular enough to have a show where people attend if you're not doing it every week. So there's that. And I think that's drying up some of the comic collections. There's another thing. The popularity of Absolute Batman has become mainstream. Like, and once that animated series drops, once it comes out, like comics will become a lot more mainstream than they were, let's say, 5 years ago. And with that, I think a lot of people are seeing Absolute Batman's popularity. They're seeing how much it's going for, and they're like, oh, my comics are worth so much money because Absolute Batman's popular. But the thing that ignites that fuse that I'm seeing alarmingly often is AI. Um, I had a collection that I had somebody had referred me to. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 months ago, and um, the guy said he didn't know much about comics. He sent me this Excel spreadsheet, and on this Excel spreadsheet, it was all Golden Age. Most of it was cartoon books. Most of it was like your Dell, Disney stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever. And there was like one or two pre-code. There was some of this, some of that, and there was like a bunch of Fawcett stuff, and then there was like 12 or 13 Superman books, but they were all Golden Age. They were all from like late 40s, early 50s. And so I was like, all right, well, look, the spreadsheet had like the title, the publisher, the year, a grade, a price. I was like, all right, this person says they don't know a lot about comics, but yet there are grades and prices. So I asked the guy, I was like, can you do me a favor and send me pictures of the Superman books? And that to me is the litmus test. Do I want to go look at this collection? Are these 1950s? He had like Superman 50. And so 40s and 50s Superman books. They'll be the litmus test if I want to go look at this collection, because I don't need fucking a bunch of shitty Disney books. And so he sends me the pictures. It's 12 or 13 pictures. All of the books, aside from two of them, were coverless. And they were all graded a 3.5 on his Excel spreadsheet. I was like, that doesn't add up because a coverless book is a 0.5 regardless. It doesn't matter. It's a 0.5. It is missing the cover. So I messaged him. I was like, how did you come to the assumption of these grades and these prices? He's like, oh, it's like I just put everything into ChatGPT and that's what it gave me. And I was just like, I literally face palmed when I got that email, and I didn't go look at the collection because, so recently, and this is just kind of going around like, Leo, the answer to your question is yes, yes. But I just kind of talking about this collection stuff that's been going on recently. Somebody contacted me like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, said, hey, because I have an ad that goes out onto some local places looking for comic collections. Said, yeah, I've got a comic collection. I think he said it was like 5,000 books or 8,000 books or somewhere in the thousands. He's like, I can send you a list. Gave him my email address. He sent me the Excel spreadsheet. When I tell you this is the worst comic collection, I've never seen this many comic books amount to nothing. And there was no Valiant in there. It was like, it was like nothing that anybody wants. Like nobody wants DC New 52 outside of Batman. Nobody wants Rebirth. Nobody wants the stuff before that. Nobody wants action. Like I can't sell action comics from like the 1970s through the 1990s. And it was stuff like that. But then the most alarming thing was about this collection is that every key that would have been in there and the runs that he had was a facsimile copy on the Excel spreadsheet. And so he wanted $8,000. I was like, oh, this isn't the collection for me. And then 3 days later, another collection popped up and it was so similar. It was in the same area, but it was a different person. And it was 5,000 books for $20,000. And the picture was like, the one picture he posted is like, asked me for a list, was all Rebirth. I'm like, this person is asking for $4 a book. There is nobody that buys collections at $4 a book unless it is also French. And I think a lot of people are thinking right now that they have a big comic book collection that's worth a lot of money. They take photos on Google, they use AI, they go on these apps and they use the computer to ask what their comics are worth without having any knowledge about how collectibles either increase in value or the worth or whatever. And they're asking these crazy sums of money for collections that no comic store would pay more than $20 a long box. And I can pay a little bit more because I have no overhead. And I pride myself on being able to pay more for a collection than a store would because I have no overhead. I put a lot of work in. So anyway, I just think that like people that don't know are trying to figure out how to sell their collections and they're being wildly misguided by AI or AI based information. And so it's just tough right now. But anyway, getting back to what Leo said, yes, yes, a lot of hard work, but I am so proud and grateful that I'm able to do this. I am not your errand boy. I haven't shipped your things yet. Don't make me throw them out. AI does ruin mostly everything. Yes, this is true. This is true. Although AI is, has been used in things that we love for decades, like video games are mostly NPCs, all that kind of stuff that's AI based. But the thing is, generative AI is terrible, but AI for data and research is good, but you have to have some fucking understanding as to what you're looking up, whether it's data or it's fact checking. Like Chris gave a great example on a video that he did a while ago about Grant Morrison, and he found some quotes from Grant Morrison, and then when he cross-checked them, he realized that they weren't real. So if you're not like doing any work and you're letting AI do the work, yeah, you're destined to you're failing at everything. What's up, Vector? Hey, Jim, you can't say that because I have some high-grade Disney books and I've made some good money off them, but there's a lot that won't, right? Because there's thousands of Disney books and there's hundreds that people want, tens of thousands, thousands of books, all prices. I mean, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're selling a comic collection, let's say you're selling your comic collection. If you're coming to somebody like me, you already know that I'm a reseller. So, or you go to a store as a reseller, when you're selling a collection, you have to think of it as this. You have to look at it this point. Out of the thousands of comics you have, there's only a handful or a box full or a percentage that is resellable at a profit, right? The way I look at it when I'm buying a collection, if somebody's offering me, 30 long boxes and they're like, look, I need to get $4,000 for this. I will go through those long boxes and in my head, I will kind of add up like the books that I need in my head to break even on this collection. And even if there's like 100 books that it would take to make that back or 200 books, as long as I see that and I looked at the condition of some of the bigger books, I'll buy it. I don't care because over time my inventory will give me a profit when people come to me and say, "Hey, do you have this, and this?" Or I'm trying to fill these runs and $5 rounds and all that. But when you come to me and you're like, "Oh, this is $20,000 worth of comics and they're all near mint," I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I will try to guide them or at least give them the information and tell them. And every collection I've ever bought, with the exception of the ones where somebody's like, "Hey, I've got 10 long boxes for $300. I just need it out." Then I'll come in and scoop it up. But for everybody who I buy a collection from, I say this line, and it's the most honest thing I can tell you. It's also the worst news that you're going to hear. You can make more money than I'll ever give you on this collection, but you have to do the work. You have to figure out the conditions. You have to sell. You have to learn how to ship books, and you need to do it right so that the first 2 or 3 people that get the books don't instantly return them because you ship them in a manila envelope and the book looks like it was, sat on. And so if you're willing to do the work, you will always make more money than anybody will ever pay you for a comic collection. No store, no dealer, no anybody. You will always make more money if you do it yourself. But the amount of work and the amount of time that it takes is why I do what I do, because this is my job. I mean, eBay doesn't help if you also don't know what you're doing, but eBay is actually a great way to figure out what stuff is worth if you kind of have the idea, right? If you know condition, if you know what the book is, if you know what a newsstand is. But yeah, when you don't know, like you have to work on knowing. Like I didn't just become a seller overnight. I've doing stuff like this for 25 years. Oh. You know, Noah, I haven't had a stack of Simpson books come my way in a while. Those are actually surprisingly easy for me to sell. That's why I don't have them anymore. Well, and Danny, I try as as much as I super can. I try to be as descriptive as possible. I try to price my stuff fairly as possible, and I try to let people know like I don't really harp on spec stuff. Hey, I try not to. Every once in a while, of course, I'm going to take advantage of it. If I have, like 3 copies of a book that just blew up, of course but I'm going to undercut everybody when I sell it. I'll tell a good story in a moment. I just want to get through these comments. Yeah. We're having a wet dream about our own irrelevance. Yeah, exactly. That I didn't hear him on the interview say that, but that's great. It is terrifying. Absolutely. I've had to use AI at work and was horrified by the results. Couldn't trust the damn thing at all. I've not used it again since. I think it has uses. Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely has uses because, like I said, it's been used in special effects. It's been used in video games for years and years and years. But generative, not so much. Generative is just, it's just scraping. It's stealing. Generative AI is just stealing. That's what it is. What's up, Mark? Shipped unbag on. I've seen that shit before. No. Uh-oh, we got a new OnlyFans kind of scenario going on with Chris. I've always wondered when you are looking to offload a bunch of books that you can't sell, you have some dedicated sources that will take these collections off your hands. Yeah, I have one guy that'll buy bulk for me at he's a retiree and I'll hit him up and I'll say, "Hey, I got X amount of boxes for you for this money." And he's a retiree. He does comics, his wife does Barbies. He just loves doing it and it's a great deal for me and he's a good guy and I can rely on him. And then I have like 4 or 5 other people that want to be my bulk buyer because like Jim, you'd be surprised. When I sell these bulk boxes, it's not shit books. There'll be full runs of stuff in there. It's just I know what I'm good at selling. I know what the customers want. Um and so he gets some really good stuff for me, even like low grade stuff that I maybe, you could say is like a 20 or $30 book, but I want him. The whole idea for me, and this is I don't think Aaron's in here, but A1 Comics, Aaron, we talk about this all the time. Like when I'm selling to other sellers, I want them to win. Like if you're a seller and you're buying a bunch of stuff from me, like I'm happy to let you get a win too. Because if I'm selling to you in bulk, it means I'm already in the profit zone. So, and once again, that kind of goes in with the no employee overhead I don't have. Um, but that being said, uh, when I encourage, and this is kind of going out to everybody that buys books from me, and if you're looking to buy books from me, if you're looking to complete runs that you don't have the time or the store to go out and flip through the bins and find like an amazing Spider-Man 322 or whatever, email me. Go email me at westcoastavengers.com and send me the list of what you're looking for because if I'm bulking, I have 8 long boxes in my garage right now that I got to sell. I got to pull some stuff out, but I'm going to sell. But if you're excuse me, if you're looking for, copper age runs and not keys and you're trying to complete stuff, like I'll give you a super deal. I mean, it's all just based on like, oh, like Bill McGovern just bought a whole bunch of Superman stuff for me and I gave him a great deal. And, it's just I'm happy to do that for people. I did it for Trevor recently. He needed to complete a Deadpool Volume 1 run and I just gave him a nice chunk of it for like what, $5 a book, and those books sell between $7 and $10 each. Speaking of Stargazer, any plans for? Yes, we are going to figure it out this summer. Uh, I'd say probably within the next month or so. Brandon, yeah, I got to talk to Damien about it, but we're definitely going to do it again. I'm a sucker. I just picked up 3 terminal blind bags. Mike, I did too, and I got the same cover 3 times. I got the the B wraparound. You know, you know what we like, and it shows when you post your sale teasers. We all feel tired. Yeah, I mean, Jacob, and you know it's done on purpose. I mean, the sale today in the Patreon, I definitely targeted some people in the best way possible. If I find something that I'm like, oh, X is gonna want this or it's gonna want that, like I'll put it in the sale because I want you to buy it. But I also want other people to see what I'm selling so that they understand that this is not your average claim sale, whether it's on this channel or on the Patreon. I am hunting and buying and targeting stuff that's not the typical comic seller stuff. Hey, people might. My LCS is really good about taking my bulk when I have it. They always give me way better deals than they should just because they know I spent it. See, that's really good too. That's great. That's the great thing about having a good LCS is like they take care of you. I mean, small business more so than ever now. You got to know your customers, and it pays for both sides. It pays as the business owner to know your customers so that when you pick something up, they're more likely to be happy that you found it and they're going to be the ones to buy it. And when you're on the other side, if you're the customer, what's more special feeling than when you walk into your LCS, you walk into a record store, you walk into your coffee shop, and they know what you want and they have it for you or whatever it is, you know? Uh, because capitalism in this country and around the world is so impersonal, give me your money, fuck you, that kind of thing. Small businesses still have the chance to be exactly what they always were, even more so now, like I said. People don't understand how margin works. Like, why would you, a reseller, give them 100% fair market value so you could resell with zero margin? For what? Love of the game? Yeah, yeah. And Andy, I mean, I love Andy is the prime example of what I was just talking about. I have Andy's lists on file, and when I hit a collection, I go to Andy's list first to see if I got anything, and I just came within one issue of completing his Doom 2099 run. And I still think that issue's in one of those boxes, so I'm going to find it. Of course, Trevor. See, the thing is like I treat my customers as if you're my customer for life, right? Um, if you've been buying from me for a while and you're like, hey, Dave, I need to fill this run, you're going to get the best deal I can possibly give you. Obviously, I have to make money. Sometimes I feel guilty about it. I'm like, oh, I should just sell them to him for $1 each. No, Dave, you have to pay your bills. That's not how it works. So know that I'm always on your side. Now, if you're an asshole or you fuck me over or you're one of these people like that ghosts me on books and you know doesn't fill out the form or whatever, then go. Good. We're done. We don't have any business together. Back in 2021, and that's not referring to the guy that I apologized to. There somebody else. Uh Back in 2020, 2021, I had a small storage unit where I was renting out monthly, packed with dive gear and tools, camping gear, and rental fees jumped up. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's why storage, I mean, that's why storage lockers become a business, right? Yeah. That's why people ghost on their storage lockers and they go to auction. Have I considered reducing West Wednesday to one? Leo, the goal is if the podcast can become successful enough and end up paying me instead of currently me paying for it, but actually earning money. Yes, it would be a once a month, and then I'd probably do a public West Coast Wednesday once a month, and then I do a Patreon once a month, so that there's still two sales, but one's private, one's a public. Oh, thanks, Joel. Yeah, I mean that's I do a lot of what I do because I don't want to be bored, right? So if I'm selling the same books over and over, sure. I would love to come upon a Spawn collection every couple of months, an Invincible collection every couple months, an Amazing Spider-Man collection every couple months, and let's say a Batman collection every couple months because those are like for indie books, Spawn and Invincible are that's thunder. Spawn and Invincible are like those are what do they call them? Pillars, you know, of the indie world. And then Spider-Man and Batman, Amazing and Batman main run are pillars of superhero books. Because I will always be looking for like the weird hardcovers and the out of print stuff. That's what I like looking for, but I always want to have the pillars or Uncanny X-Men. Speaking of records, went to a store in Manhattan selling used records in the price of new. Yeah, records have gone up a lot. I stopped collecting for the most part. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like the Japan trip, until Jim, and I've said this publicly, until the trips stop paying for themselves, I will keep going because I'm going to hunt and I'm going to take a break from being in the US. Oh, Micah, it's on Monday. It's the 27th. Yeah, it's this coming Monday. So right after whatchamacallit, right after San Diego Comic Con finishes up. You would love what? Wait, what? I forgot what I said. Oh, one sale a month and then one on the Patreon. Yeah, I just have to get the podcast out there. I'm currently looking for sponsors, so I think after San Diego Comic Con, I'm going to put the pedal to the metal on that a little bit harder. Got serious about comics in part because LPs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm rebuilding my movie library in 4K right now, so I'm hitting garage sales looking for movies. I think it's a good time to well, look, it's never a bad time to buy physical media. But it's a good time to buy it while you can get it cheap in the summers, for garage sales is when you can get that stuff kind of cheap. But I wanted to illustrate a point to what we were just talking about a little story that's piercing the veil a little bit. Not really. So if you were in my sales the last couple weeks, I took a book out of my PC. I have a very small graded PC. Most of my what am I saying? Most 95% of the comics that are my personal collection are ungraded. But I pulled the Invincible 2 out, and I had it up for sale the last couple sales at 1350 because a couple months ago, sale like hit 1500, I think. So I was like, all right, let me discount it a little bit and see if this will sell. Didn't sell. I'm sorry if anybody wanted to buy that book because it's no longer in my possession. I went to check it a week ago to see if there are any recent sales on it. And the most recent sale, there were two of them, 1800 for two separate sales for a Invincible 2 9/8 CGC book. So I quickly changed the price on my Instagram post to I think 15 or 1600. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to list it on eBay because both of these books had sold on eBay. And so I put it up on eBay at $1,949. Buy it now if somebody wanted to get real trigger happy. I put it up with a automatic accept any offer over 1,800 or 1,799. Damn, Derek. And then a couple people sent me $1,500 offer. Somebody hit me up on Instagram with a $1,600 offer. It took him 2 days to even try and pay. And before he tried to pay, somebody got it on my eBay store for over $1,700. And, somebody still got a deal, especially what Derek just said. If one just sold at fucking $2,074, that book has gone this way for a year. It has not gone down at all. It has just gone up. And, I try to give people a good deal, but I have to get the money when it's coming. And I would love to have sold that to somebody on this sale for 1350 a week and a half ago, but just know I'm just trying to illustrate a point of like I'm always kind of keeping an eye on what's going on, especially with the books that I own. And I'm never trying to gouge prices, but I will if something that I own goes for a record amount, you goddamn right I'm going to sell my copy because nothing is certain with collectibles and nothing is certain in this world right now. So David, you one of the OG Dave Angerinos, Cal. Been hanging out and we've been talking for 5 years at least. Because of this discussion group, I am buying physical media again. You know what, Leo? Leo, just like you said, like it's something I champion, and it's not just comics. It's movies, it's music, it's whatever that you think you enjoy that you want to own. Because yeah, we've seen it time and time again, and it's going to start happening with video games. Stuff's just going to disappear. And one day you're going to pay, you're going to be looking for something and you're going to have to pay twice the amount that you would pay right now for it because they're gone. Hey, Cheesier, what's up, brother? Brother. Hey, I try, Jim. I try. Hey, I'm doing my job. Why is there a Vancouver, Washington? Why is it nowhere near? Yeah, it's the last town over the in Washington before you get over the Oregon border. I don't know. You'd have to ask the founders of Oregon, Washington, because it clearly was after BC. Vancouver is the original BC. British Columbia is the original Vancouver. No, no, because well, first off, here, let me say I'm a movie music quality snob, like a picture and sound quality snob. Not super as much as I used to be, but I have this discussion with my buddy Will, who is one third of the Movie Morons podcast. If you watch, what did I watch on HBO last night? I put something on that I've seen a bunch of times. Oh, I put on oh my God. Oh my God, I can't remember what I watched last night. This is what getting old is like. But I put something on HBO. I have a 4K TV. I was watching it on streaming, and I watched Prometheus. And it's just a lot of stuff in the atmosphere that was a little pixelated and stuff. And even if they have the movie on streaming, if you really want the best quality, just own the disc. And garage sales, half price books, places like that are a great place to pick up movies, physical media at a decent price. Yeah, but you have two. You can have sentimental value for one. Honestly, can't believe no one took a crack at my Momoko. Yeah, that's another thing. I gotta hit up Brian Weideman. He's my contact at Heritage. And I'm gonna ask him if we can get the Momoko blade in the next signature auction, and then if the Doom, I just put the Amazing Spider-Man 5 on Elite the other day at 12,450 because it's white pages and there is no other one for sale. If it doesn't sell within the next couple weeks, I'm gonna send it to Heritage. I'll take the hit on Heritage because it's a guaranteed gonna get the best price. Dave Vancouver founded both towns in 1432. I hadn't sold a book in years when Moon Knight came out. My Werewolf by Night first appearance went up for sale, and I was shocked on the return. Yeah, that book still holds some great value. I own a raw copy of that because I was gonna sell it recently, and I decided I want to keep it. Sometimes streaming defaults to the lowest quality. Yeah, yeah. And there is nothing, I do not think you can go into HBO and change it. It was definitely in high definition, but it was not in 4K. Yeah, you only need one. Good choice. I don't care what anyone says. Prometheus. I like Prometheus. Look, Prometheus has some really terrible character choices, but then if you think about it, Alien, the original Alien, there was only one somewhat stupid character. Aliens, those Marines were if Tyler's still in here, I'd love to hear what Tyler's opinion on the Marines in Aliens. There was a couple amazing ones. Bill Paxton, as much as we love him, might have been the dumbest. Well, he knew that we were fucked. Anyway, I'm just saying Prometheus has some questionable character choices, but at the same time, it's such a gorgeous looking movie, and the gore, the creature, I love all of it. Even animated films have a huge difference. I grew up with the SpongeBob movie, and it was intended to be seen with a totally different, interesting. Yeah, I wish is there a Miyazaki box set, 4K box set? Because I need to buy one. I've got a run of Invincible 103 to 144. Would you recommend to sell now or wait till the next season? Um, Mike, I don't think it's gonna make a difference, but it can't hurt to wait for the next season, or at least see if any announcements are made about it or previews shown for this weekend, at San Diego. But I haven't seen a drop in price in Invincible. If anything, I've seen the opposite since the season ended. But I don't think there's a bad time to sell, honestly. The thing about Invincible, there's a three reasons why Invincible is selling for so much. One, on top of everything else, it's an amazing book, and it always has been. So no matter what show happens, no matter what video game happens, it does not change how good that book is. Two, The print run was incredibly low on that book for the entire print run. Started low, maybe got a little bit higher, but was still considered low. And then 3 is the show. So, yeah, you don't have to really worry. Um, if you're happy to sell them, then I think you could sell them now and you'd still do just as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck, game over, man. Game over. Oh, Fassbender and Prometheus is chef's kiss. Absolutely love his performance in that movie. Prometheus was edited to make the scientists superior idiotic. There's a director's cut. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever seen the director's cut. Guess I gotta buy it. Marines and all media are exactly how they are in real life, if not worse. All right, Tyler. Good cue. I haven't upgraded my Miyazaki. Yeah, I'd like to own all the Miyazaki movies because I don't own any of them right now. I'd like to own them. I've owned some on DVD, but I'd like to own them in 4K. Um, I know they got a Kubrick collection coming out from the Criterion collection this year. I think Covenant holds up now without the expectations. I've seen Covenant like 3 or 4 times, and that second half of the movie takes me out of the movie, but I'll give it a watch again. Dumb, obnoxious, goofy assholes. All right, what did Mark say? Went and watched The Odyssey the other day, liked it, but seeing Tom Holland and Zendaya seemed weird because I'm going to see them a week. Yeah, well, they are in a lot of movies together, but I mean, I forgot she was in the movie until she was on screen. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise. Literally saw the pictures from them over the weeks at the premiere, and my brain kept thinking, oh, she's there because it's a Spider-Man premiere, but it was, yeah, yeah. Selling could definitely be a headache. I have 398 signed Sanford Green Third Eye comic exclusive Spider-Man Supermans, but none have sold, and I'm having to sit on them. Yeah. Slabs, especially modern slabs, unless it's absolute Batman, are a pain to sell, and I don't I love Sanford, and I think there is a piece of it where Sanford is not as popular as he should be, and it makes me angry because I think Sanford's one of the most gifted artists out there, creators, and he's a great human too. Um, but Trevor, I think maybe later this year they might sell. Let's just say that. What's up, brother? Oh, of course, you got it. Glad that you were happy with your books, and seems like everybody was happy with their books. So, like I said, it's my intentions to make sure everybody's experience buying stuff for me is solid. Except that's a hole. Damn it, Dave. Yeah. And Prometheus, like the music, I really enjoyed the score. I kind of focused on listening to it a little bit more than I think I ever have in my subsequent viewings. But yeah, I love that movie. What's your choice version of Akira? Original. Original. I'm an original, but I don't know if I've ever really noticed. Is that bad? You know what my choice version of Akira is, Micah? It's the comic. I love the anime, but I love the comic more. Finally found out some more info on the Japanese Transformers. Nice. They're rare, and that's the thing. They're rare. Nobody likes it when Dave's angry. Speaking of Japan, I've got a box of stuff coming from Japan. I've won some auctions in the last couple weeks. Excited to show that off whenever. Actually, I guess I have to pay for. Oh shit! There were auctions I was going to bid on, and then I think they all ended last night, and I forgot to bid on them. Damn it, Dave. Oh well. Yeah, I'll just get that stuff shipped to me. So yeah, but when it comes to if you're looking for books, like I said, if you're looking for what we call run filler, you're always welcome to send me a list, but I can't do anything other than tell you to send me a list because that's all I can do. Got like I said, I got a video coming this weekend, going through kayfabe style, kind of going through a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures issue, a late period one that I've been waiting to do, and I finally sat down and did it. I think it's gonna be a fun one, and then I got like a collection flip through coming the next week. But I will say on the podcast this week, I had Yatasha Womack, who wrote the Marvel Age of Comics book on Miles Morales. The I don't know. I don't want to make this the point of me saying a video is not doing well, but just watch it. It's such a great conversation, and it's a great follow-up to the Bendis conversation, because it's, me and Brian talked a lot about Miles, and then me and Natasha talk all about Miles, and kind of like the effect that music, not just hip hop, but jazz and all types of music have on a character like Miles, and the creation of that, and then how like music and living in a city kind of go together, and in that aspect. There he is. Speaking of city guys, there is New York City's own Mr. Ewok One. Welcome in. Take a seat. Kick off your shoes. Have a cigar. I don't know. Will I accept a scan of my handwritten Love and Rockets want list? Of course, Danny. You can send that to me. Or you could, type it up. But yeah, I don't care. As long as I can read it, I don't give a shit. Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? Oh, thanks, Marco. Yeah, I had a great time talking. I do a That's right. Um I will say this, I'll reiterate it just because like I'm not trying to be that guy. But anybody, really, the comments, the likes, like that kind of stuff on the podcast really helps. It really does. So, always welcome. If you're part of the Patreon and you haven't watched Movie Morons, and you love the movie The Crow, or you don't love the movie The Crow, I think you'll enjoy that episode. But any feedback on it's great. We're gonna do Sin City next, and then I think after Sin City, I'll make both episodes public. I don't know what I'm hesitating on. I don't know if the audience is gonna be there for the direct edition audience, but I do think it'll do well, because if Movie Morons becomes like even just enjoyed by the direct edition audience, I have some big plans for it. Finally bought Absolute Batman Trade. Just want to read it. I'm late to the Absolute Trade. When books get nuclear, this one reminds me that people are not buying to read them but flip. But no, that's the thing, Leo. This is a book that got popular because people were reading it, and then the speculators and then the people came in trying to flip. But it was a reader book before. I mean, I was, the day it came out, I watched the stream recently right before the Nick Dragata interview. I gave away like 2 copies, and I was so excited after reading it. And I think it's the opposite. It's pure the way it started. I'm super excited for the horror of Godzilla 1 next week. Sounds like a horror version told from the ground of the first attack through the eyes. Who's the creators on it? Is it IDW or is it Dark Horse? Who's putting it out? Give me some more information, Derek. You did really well with Bendis. I think you would have bounced if the interview wasn't going well. Yeah, Micah, he said to me after we were done recording, said something to the effect of like, he's like, I like your energy. It's the kind of energy I like in a podcast. I mean, Mike, at this point, I know I could probably have a good conversation with anybody, but I choose to make sure that it's people that I have an interest in talking to, so that we're both engaged. Yeah. Do you see the story today from Feige confirmed that Marvelly? No, I just saw that he said that whatchamacallit, that Secret Wars wasn't going to be a complete reboot. It wasn't going to be an MCU reboot, but I didn't read anything else into it, because like every time he says something like 3 years later, it never happens. Hey, what's up, Joe Dent in the house? Hello. I'm well, and I hope you're well. Bob, hope you're well too. Yeah, better late than never. What's up, Tom? Tom's in the house. We got Tom, Bob, and Joe. Sounds like a bunch of random white guys. Dave, do you have a copy of Heroes for Hunger? Not the DC version. It's funny. I've only ever had the Marvel version with the Wolverine on the cover, but I've never had the DC version. I think that book's actually hard to find, believe it or not. Oh, that's right. That's right. It was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina. One of the best. I mean, I would definitely say it's one of my favorite movies, and I think it's one of my favorite. I think it's one of the best comic book movie, and it's definitely in the top 3 soundtracks of all time, unimpeachable top 3. IDW written by Ethan Parker. Okay. No, I'll take a look at it next week. I can't do both movies on the same day. I'm going to probably do Doomsday on opening day because I fear spoilers from that. Whereas like Dune, the book exists. So like it's not going to be like people are talking about spoilers because like same with the Odyssey, like the story exists. So how are you really going to spoil it? You know, like what's the point of putting spoilers on the internet? So Doomsday is coming. Yeah, I will. I gotta get tickets for. The problem is I don't know if I'm gonna be in this country when both of them come out. I might still be in Japan, and I'm not gonna cut my trip short. But if I maybe I'll. Do we know if both movies are getting that worldwide release in the same day? Because I might just buy tickets to see them both in Japan because it'll be subtitled in Japanese. It won't be dubbed. Um, I definitely am going to see Godzilla minus zero here, and then I'm going to go see it in Japan. Oh yeah, Dune 1 and 2 are amazing. And I love Denis Villeneuve. I love all of his movies. I would say he's in my top probably my top 5 favorite directors. I didn't see the IMAX preview because I saw it at 70 millimeter, not IMAX. But I heard that the preview looked cool. DC one has insane pencil ink. Yeah, I know Wrightson's in it. I mean, I know that. Yeah, I didn't know Kirby was in it. No, Doomsday. I thought they said the runtime was like closer to 3. I don't care. Give me a fucking 5-hour movie. You're talking to somebody who saw multiple times saw the Lord of the Rings extended editions in the theaters. Long movies don't stop me when I'm having fun. Yeah, yeah. I was bummed that we didn't get the IMAX release for Dune uh because of COVID, because in Seattle the Science Center was shut down for that time. But before Dune 2 came out, they showed Dune in the proper IMAX in Seattle, and I saw it there before Dune 2 came out. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Like his most straightforward movie is Sicario, I think. And that movie is one of the most intense action movies, period. One of the most intense movies to come out in like the last 15 years. I rewatched it like a month and a half ago, Trevor, and I hadn't seen it in maybe 5 years. I forgot, like that movie has you in a chokehold until the last scene, like until uh Benicio basically says to Emily Blunt, like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, the bummer of the Seattle IMAX is just it still bums me out. Basically, the long short of it is the Pacific Science Center. If you've ever been to Seattle, let me just give you the Seattle Center consists of where the Climate Pledge Arena is now, where the Key Arena used to be, the Space Needle, the Glass Museum. What's his fucking name? The guy that nobody likes, and then the Pacific Science Center. And the Pacific Science Center is your general kind of like science center. And they had two IMAX theaters, the Boeing and the Packard. And the Boeing, which is, I think it's the same size, I maybe bigger than Lincoln Center. It was the first IMAX to have the full Dolby Atmos. I've seen every IMAX movie there since I moved here in 2014. 6, 7 months ago, the Science Center, capitalism, am I right? The Science Center, which is bleeding money because it's poorly run, sold the Boeing IMAX to the fucking Space Needle. And then the Space Needle put out a statement saying, we're not showing first run movies anymore. We're only showing Space Needle IMAX movies. And they did this in a year where, yeah, we're getting Odyssey, Doomsday, or Dune actually would have come there. They literally said, no, we don't want the money. And so we don't have a real IMAX in Seattle now. I refuse to pre-purchase tickets, but I'm in a weak market. So yeah, if you're in a weak market, then you don't have to worry. But if you're not, you got to pre-purchase tickets. Oh, yeah, I'm okay with that. 3 hours and 45 minutes. Come on, give me 6 hours for Doomsday and give me a 5-hour Dune 3. Come on. I've got the opposite of ADHD. Whatever that is, anxiety and hyperattention. My boy Babs was the villain at the end of one. Babs. Babs. Who am I thinking of that I don't know who Babs is? Dinner scene. What's happening? I'm missing. What's up, Kem? Who's Babs? Why can't I think of who Babs is? Who are you referring to? Keep talking. Um if I don't need it exactly. I mean, Derek, I thought I was gonna have to pee during the Odyssey because I had like coffee maybe like an hour and a half before the movie, and my body was just like, nah, like you don't have to do anything, just stay in that seat. It was actually kind of funny because if I had if I wasn't enjoying the movie as much, my body would have been like, oh, you gotta piss. Uh Closest IMAX to me is like 2 hours away, sadly, so I don't get to see many things in IMAX. Yeah, it's probably worth it for Dune. Pick up your Studio Ghibli DVD collection in Japan so the movies aren't edited. Disney cut up the later releases. Yeah, but Martin, then becomes the problem is most of those DVDs or the 4K Blu-rays in Japan aren't going to have subtitles. So I can't really watch them. You know, I own two versions of Godzilla minus one that I bought in Japan. Neither have American subtitles. Babs is his real name. He was also in the Grace Gay show. Babs is the black dude in the fight scene at the end of Dune 1 gets stabbed. Oh, I'll have to keep that in mind when I watch it. I didn't know who you were talking about. If the movie is good and the popcorn doesn't run out, I'm good. Yeah, Mark. So for those of you that have never been to the Cinerama in Seattle, which is now the SIF downtown, the Cinerama was an old movie theater that Paul Allen, the owner of the Seahawks and the Trailblazers, who passed away a number of years ago, co-founder of Microsoft, he had bought the Cinerama movie theater in downtown Seattle in 2013, renovated it, and reopened it right when I moved here in 2014. And it was the greatest single movie theater I'd ever been to. And they do a fresh chocolate popcorn there. And they still do the popcorn. It's just the movie theater isn't run as well as it used to be, which is a shame. But that's where they're showing the Odyssey in 70 millimeter. We were lucky enough. Yeah. Oh, in Dallas, Bob. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I know. I think I know that theater. I think I've been to that theater before. Because when I used to travel for work, I used to go, if I had a day to kill or time to kill, I go to the movies. And I've been in Dallas a bunch of times. I've been to a couple of movie theaters in Dallas, including the one of the Alamo Draft Houses. I think I went to the Alamo Draft House. Is there one in Deep Ellum or right next to Deep Ellum? The bladder knows when the movie's exactly. Your body's just like your body is. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, well, you also have ADD, Phil. So that's your ADD probably working against you. I mean, people talk about like training their body to, hold their breath for 10 minutes and do all this stuff. Like your body knows when not to go to the bathroom. That's why we don't shit ourselves as adults that often. That often. Cage. Okay. Yeah, I know the Clayface trailer looks dope. I can't say that. Olusanmukun. I'll have to look him up. Would have to be that one. The only one we have. Yeah, yeah. I think I remember I didn't see something in the IMAX, but I went to that theater. Or the Deep Ellum Alamo. Speaking of Cinerama, yes. So Sony bought the Hollywood Cinerama today, or announced they're buying it, and turning it into an Alamo Draft House Cinerama. It's funny, man. I think I told you this. I think we had this conversation. I saw The Social Network at the Cinerama Dome when it came out. One of the coolest things, I don't know if I've ever told anybody in the community, is that when Iron Man 2 came out, which I love that movie, I was in LA with a buddy and I was like, oh, you want to go see Iron Man 2 tonight? It's opening tonight. So we went to go see it at the Cinerama Dome. And it's so funny. We were sitting like, because it is like 40 feet from the first row to the screen. Robert Downey Jr. and what's his name? Jon Favreau walked out and introduced the movie. My friend looked at me, he's like, did you know that was gonna happen? I'm like, no. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's good to know that you have one up there. I would have thought that Buffalo would have had it, but not Rochester. Rochester. Never got the restroom during a movie ever. So yeah, I try not to, but sometimes it happens. Yeah. Hey, bud, I don't drink or eat during a signing, bud, so I don't have to pee. I remember when he would talk about that, and like his daughter is a doctor, and his daughter's like, Dad, you gotta stop doing that. Yeah, yeah, the Alamo Deep. And I've been to Trees. I've been to that music venue. Do like we did in the 90s, download a translated script off an anime and read along. Martin, no. That's amazing though. My brother went during the Odyssey and freaking missed the scene with the witch. Oh my god, that's the best scene. I didn't notice the time when watching the Odyssey. I just remembered past Avengers films. I love Age of Ultron. I know that that movie is not as loved. If you go back and watch Age of Ultron, Tom, and if you keep the scope of what they ended up doing with the, up until Endgame, like Age of Ultron laid down so much of the foundation of everything that came after it. I tried. I don't remember. I definitely read the Iliad. I don't remember anything because I was like, why are they making us read it in this language that doesn't make sense to my brain? Yeah. Is that venue still there, Bob? Anyone been to 4D movie where they had the physical stuff in the theater wall? I've never I have no desire to do the 4D thing, so I've never been. Do you imagine if they did a 4D of the Suspiria remake? That would be insane. No. No, I don't want my seat moving. I don't want water sprayed on me. I don't want like, somebody tickling my ear with a feather in a creepy scene. Or do I? Maybe they should have that for comics. Like when you go into a comic book store, they have a chair where where like you could read a comic and the person that works at the comic store like moves the chair around while you're trying to read. It'd be so annoying. It'd be like you'd be like, I can't read it. Age of Ultron is the best team bonding of any of the movies. Yes. Yeah, at Hawkeye's house. I love that movie. And the party scene in the beginning. Squirt nasty water in your mouth to get Legionnaire's disease. No thanks. Trees is still here. It doesn't look much different. Oh, that's cool. Good to know. Don't read Kick Ass in that chair. I like Kick Ass. I liked Kick Ass. I think that would probably, I wonder if we should do that on Movie Morons. Like that's a movie that I really enjoy. And I love the book. I really love the book. I was a Mark Miller stan for like his first, I don't know, like his first five or so independent books. And then I kind of it kept getting sameness on a lot of his books. Like Kick-Ass, Nemesis, Jupiter's Legacy, the first arc. Starlight was really good. There was like one or two others. I would do it if it's all people dressed in black like the puppeteers do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can't actually see them and they're just like they're blended in. I'll just go watch Jason and the Argonauts by Ray. It's not You're not going to get the same feel. That's a great movie, but this movie's better. The book and the comic are both solid. The sequels could both take a hike, though. Yeah, I remember. All I really remember from the sequel movie is Jim Carrey, and then I don't. Yeah, I don't remember anything about the story. So that says enough, right? Not remembering it. Jason the Argonauts is great. Like I saw that. I used to watch it whenever it was on TV. Not even really knowing Harryhausen's name until later. Uh, but I haven't seen it in so long. You know what movie's absolute dog shit? You remember Clash of the Titans, the one with Sam Worthington? Yeah, that movie was really not. It looked cool in certain scenes, but that was not a good movie. I mean, the thing is with Nolan is like he makes grounded movies, or he makes movies that at least don't rely on too much supernatural. But God help us if he ever really goes for like a high fantasy movie or a horror movie. We're all gonna die in the best way possible. Oh yeah, Harry Hamlin. That's right. Harry Hamlin. Is he still alive? Harry Hamlin? Let's see. Haven't heard his name in a long time, so I imagine he's not. But maybe he is. Oh yeah, he's not that old. He's 74. Harry Hamlin rules. But yeah, trying to think of anything else I wanted to chat about, or if anybody had any other questions. Like I said, um, oh, no, that that's some legendary stuff, but I mean the one that came out in like 2010. Uh, I think you're a little bit older than me, Kem. I don't think I know those toys. Nolan just said in the interviews that Obsession convinced him he wants to do a horror movie. Yeah, I saw that, but if he actually does one, it's like we're all fucked in the best way possible. But yeah, let me explain the Movie Morons podcast once again. I have a Patreon. It's only $5 a month, less than a cup of coffee. Bonus videos, but we just started a new podcast on there that'll go public eventually. But it's called Movie Morons. It's me, still sick, and our buddy Will. We talk about The Crow for about an hour and change, about the movie, about the soundtrack, about kind of like our attachment to it and what it's done with, like I think it's one of the most influential movies in my life. Um, but yeah, if you watch it, if you can, if you're part of the Patreon, the first episode is free. If you can watch it, leave comments, let me know what you think. Um, you're welcome to put movie suggestions in. We have a list that we're going to pull from. We're going to start with comic movies. The next one we're doing is Sin City, but it's more about movies that we like. I'm like I said at the top of the program, uh, I'm not trying to do a show that just talks about stuff I don't like. I find that to be a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a lot of negative energy brought in that I don't need. Like the guy who got mad at the sign over here. I don't need that. It's not what I'm about. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, Trevor. Trevor. Oh God, please fix that. Da Crow. That's not a comic book movie, Marco. King of Comedy, Ed Wood. Wait, wasn't King of Comedy a Scorsese movie? Is there two King of Comedies? Thanks, Leo. Yeah, see, Leo's got it. King of Comedy, 1982. Yeah, it's Martin Scorsese, unless there was a different Ed Wood. What are you doing to me, Marco? You're confusing me. I've never seen The King of Comedy. I probably should fix that. There's a couple of early Scorsese movies that I've never seen before. Like I've seen Mean Streets, I've seen Raging Bull, and then everything after, but I don't think I've ever seen like a couple of his early films. Oh yeah, there's a Spirit movie. Noah, I don't know if I've ever seen it. I think I tried to watch it and I fell asleep. Um, I don't know anybody that's ever said something good about The Spirit. But if anybody has anything positive to say about that movie, I'd be interested in hearing why. But yeah, I don't think I made it through that whole movie. Okay. Yeah. Uh yeah, that's the Stephen King, the Mark Hamill one. I haven't seen it yet. I should watch it. Yeah, I know. I mean, I knew the Joker was basically an homage to all Scorsese movies. But yeah, I know that it's like people have said that before. Oh yeah, the movie Ed Wood. Yeah. No, that was the one with what's his name with Josh Brolin, right? Yeah, I never bothered. It was what, Josh Brolin and Megan Fox? Hey, what's up, Evgeny? I mean, I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I said this earlier. I never really had an interest in being like in that huge crowd, especially because like the problem is, I said it before, like I have the opposite of ADD. I have a hyper attention, so like I would get fixated on doing too much stuff and it would be like Heroes where I'd like kind of burn myself out the first day. And a lot of, and not artists and creators, but there's a lot of people that go there in the YouTube space, podcasting space, to be like seen. And it's just like, it's not my thing. I'd rather just go somewhere where I'm going to enjoy myself. In Japan, are English comics priced at a premium? No, there's just not a lot of them. Like there's only two. Like if you're talking about comics, like new stuff, there's only two comic stores in Tokyo, and then the stuff that's translated into Japanese in the trade paperback formats. No, it's not priced at a premium. No, because it's not as popular. So I think they wanted to become a little more popular, the publishers over here, but not really. It's definitely not priced at a premium. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring so much of it back. Because I do bring a lot of the Japanese, American stuff translated to Japanese because it's cool and it looks cool and it's fun to have it in different, kind of completely different format. Yeah. Well, he's not a director. He was a good co-director because it was his vision, Sin City, to begin with. So Rodriguez wanted him with him. Uh, but yeah, I don't, you know, I mean, sure, I'd love to go to 1990, 1994 San Diego Comic Con or 1975 San Diego Comic Con, or even like 2000. You know what the year to go was? The year that they did, excuse me, the year that they did the Dark Knight scavenger hunt, because it was before the movies had really blown up at San Diego Comic Con, and that's what blew it up. But like, I remember following online all of the things that people were discovering in like that ARC, the alternate reality game or whatever it's called, where they like unleashed the first image of Heath as the Joker, but they had like a whole scavenger hunt around San Diego to get it. Yeah, now it's too well, I think so. I'll say this, Zero. I think this year is going to be a very comic centric show, and a lot of that I'm understanding, and I'm basing that off of how Heroes was this year, because like the energy, the positivity, the feverishness around what DC's doing was so high at Heroes. I think DC is going to keep continuing that. They're not doing, I don't think DC's doing a panel at Hall H. I think they're really focusing on comics, where Marvel is probably not. Fair enough. The whole idea is not to do movies that are shitty or that we don't like on the podcast. It's to do things that we agree on, that we want to talk about. And I think that's maybe that's anti what people want in general, but I don't know. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. Screen use prop for when Luke's hand gets cut off an episode. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It's crazy. Tom, did you sell that, or are you in here, Tom? Number one Marvel fan, Tom? Not that Tom. Different Tom. Well, send me back to when Kirby was alive anywhere. I never met the man. Oh, yeah, Skybound's going to do real well at SDCC also. Well, because Kirkman knows what he's doing. And another thing with Kirkman, it's like he's got a brand new comic out. They've got a lot of stuff in the works. Battle Beast is real popular. Like, it's all, they may do an Invincible thing. They may do some video game announcements, but this coming out today, there's a reason why it came out today. I love Star Wars, but this is pure insanity. I'm not sure I could spend that kind of cash for a hand prop even if I was going to buy a Star Wars prop and I had the money, I could pick any prop. That would be tough. I'd probably want one of like the model Millennium Falcons that they used, or a model TIE fighter that was actually used, or Darth's helmet. Actually, what am I saying? I want Darth's helmet. Nothing else. I want fucking Darth's helmet. I don't care about anything else. I want Darth's helmet. I forgot that was a prop. you know, but yeah, that would probably be on one of my, like, in my top 5 if you were to ask. I can't even believe I said the Millennium Falcon, because my favorite vehicle is an AT-AT. So I'd want an AT-AT before a TIE fighter or a Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that Chain Kata banner is like 16 and a half feet tall, maybe even taller. Well, look, I think, what's interesting? I can't speak on certain things that Dan told me off the record, but I'll say this in return, is that Image, above everybody else in the publishing comic space, Image understands not just his talent, but how popular he is, and how when he is doing something that is creator owned, it is going to be fucking awesome. And I don't think, well, DC does know, but Marvel, they don't. They don't understand. But Image, they are doing right by making his book a central focus of San Diego Comic Con. Oh my God, that's right. Is that when it was at the Smithsonian for whatever as many years? I didn't get the chain Kata Ashcan. My LCS owner is keeping it for himself, which is fine. And since they only have 500 of them at San Diego, I don't think anybody's going to be able to get me one. But you know what? It's all right. Like, if I'm not going to get one, I'm happy other people are getting them. I'm happy I got to read it. I did get the Sakai variant for Jacob for Dr. Plagueis, because he asked me if my store got one, can I grab it for him? And then I saw the Frank Miller, which was really cool to see. But yeah, I haven't bought a Turtles book in a long time. I don't think that's speculation. I think that is factualization. Facts. It's facts. How Beta Ray Bill and that Wonder Woman issue is basically all Marvel. Wolverine. I think you mean Wolverine issue. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what WW is other. I mean, the Wonder Woman. You're not talking about Wonder Woman because he's done 2 miniseries for DC, and then obviously the Absolute Batman annual. Well, Dan's done a couple things for Marvel. So he's done Beta Ray Bill. He did Wolverine. He did a story in Daredevil Black, Red, or Black, White, and Blood. I believe he did one for the Darth Vader Black, White, and Red, or whatever it's called. And I don't know if he did a Venom one. I agree with you, Cheesier. I agree with you that Marvel doesn't understand what they're doing when it comes to him. One of those Millennium Falcon models just sold recently too. Jeez. Is it all from what's his name's collection? There's a lot of that stuff from David Mandel's collection, Derek. Yeah, I don't know, Trevor. Tim Miller is the director of the Deadpool movies. That's why. I think it is. Well, yeah, Andy, they apparently fumbled the printing, or the printing run on it, because Dan Dan said they were going to get a massive amount of them. I picked up the Superman Red Blue in issue 5. Yeah, that's that one, right? So DC. He's done obviously the Wonder Woman series, the Absolute Batman annual. He wrote Justice Jurassic League, and then the Superman story. I feel like he's done one or two other maybe short stories for them. Tom, it's coming out in November. I don't think the date was solidified yet, but I think they'll probably have the date this weekend. So, but yeah, it comes out in November, which, I mean, we all know, like, by the time we blink, it'll be fucking end of summer, and then it'll be November. So, I don't know. Time is weird. But anyway, I've been on for a little over 2 hours. And I think, I forgot to tell people to hit the like button. We know that I already got one dislike from the fascist guy who came in, and I lost a subscriber, which is fine. But yeah, if you could hit the like button, that'd be nice. It helps. It helps. Also, heads up, that ROM book from the Mass Blind Bag is getting a wider release. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I'm glad to hear it. I bet that if you ask DWJ nicely, get me that chain Kata Ashcan. Yeah, I know. I know, but whenever I see him, I get like a stack of books signed, so maybe I'll ask. Do you think you'll discuss I Saw the Devil or Old Boy? One of my faves. I Saw the Devil. I have not read Old Boy. I mean, I saw it, but I Saw the Devil. Did I see that movie? No, I didn't see that movie, but I need to watch it. But yeah, Old Boy, that's a good one, Martin. Because I did not realize it was based off a manga. And that's a great movie. The original. So yeah, maybe I'll edit. I'm gonna write it down so I can add it to the list. Because I'm sure Phil likes that movie, and I'm sure Will does. So that would be a fun movie to talk about, especially because, like, there's a lot in Old Boy that's been homaged since Old Boy. Especially like I think about the hallway scene, and then Daredevil homaged it in the first season on Netflix. So yeah, that would be a fun movie to talk about. I have to watch I Saw the Devil. I know about that movie, but I've never seen it. Thank you, Joseph. All right, Danny, you have a good night, and thank you. Yeah, that it's a great movie. It's a great movie. But yeah, so new video this weekend, and then Monday, Daniel Warren Johnson on the podcast. So that I think that's going to be my biggest interview to date, but that's just wishful thinking. Well, Micah, that's not based off of comic, but I love The Raid, and I think The Raid 2 is the best action movie this side of the millennium. Funny to me that all the ads for Dan appearing at SDCC and NYCC just mentioned do a powerbomb in the Batman annual and Chinkata. Well, the Absolute Batman annual is one of the biggest splashes, though. Like that thing made a big splash, and people are still talking about it, so that's why. And do a powerbomb because the black and white issues are coming out. That's why they're mentioning it too. Cool, good. Then maybe I'll add it to the list after I'm done here. Hey, we talk about golf. We definitely talk about golf. Not in detail, but we definitely talk about golf. But everybody, I hope everybody has a great night and a great week. I hope you enjoy reading your comics this week. Like I said, if you're in the Patreon, Movie Morons podcast is up. The exclusive sale is up right now. $5 a month. Links in the description below. The store on the website is open. WestCoastAvengers.com. I'm trying to add new items every day. Probably try to get 20 items up a week. And then finally, last thing, if you want to buy t-shirts, links in the description below. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody's support, whether it's money, buying stuff, or just being here. Doesn't matter. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week for a live sale. And I hope everybody has a great week, and go watch The Odyssey and read more comics. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a comic guy.